I hear people say, oh, there's no VCs in Cardano. Well, actually, we have one of the largest around. What is Catalyst? $700 million ready to go, deployed in a responsible manner through funds you control, the community. And every single time a voting round happens, we see more participation, we see more voting, and many of the great projects from NAMI on down receive funding from Catalyst to get started. It's what keeps great companies like DC Spark in our ecosystem and gives them the lifeblood that they need for Fint and Milkomeda and other things. And that's just the beginning. That's going to grow, especially as the voting centers come online. Participation increases. We will see thousands of projects launched in the long term every single year just from that.
The massive crypto sell-off continues into yet another day. At only $1.18 trillion, the total crypto market cap has lost over $1 trillion since the beginning of the year. Bitcoin is currently trading in the upper 27,000 range, a slight recovery from its 24-hour low of $25,845. Luna has also crashed below $1, a 98% decrease in less than a day. With Bitcoin at its lowest in over a year, consumer sentiments are at their lowest. Coupled with the recent Terra wipeout, many founders and CEOs are scrambling to assure investors of the safety of their protocol. Charles Hoskinson, the founder of the Cardano blockchain platform, has recently spoken about why investors should keep their faith in the protocol and its offerings. At only 46 cents, Cardano has plunged by over 46% in the last week and 27% over the previous 24 hours. However, Hoskinson urges investors to turn away from the ongoing market condition and focus on positive news that shows that Cardano remains the best amongst its peers. Please listen to Hoskinson's pitch for his blockchain platform, and don't forget to hit the like button.
Today, right now, there are more people using Cardano than ever before. There are more transactions on Cardano than ever before, more smart contracts on Cardano than ever before, more NFTs on Cardano than ever before, more dApps under construction than ever before. Next month, the Vossel hard fork is on schedule, which will bring the greatest performance improvement ever in the history of Cardano, alongside numerous new features for dApp development. This is just one of many events that are going to occur over the next 12 months. In addition to that, things that built entire ecosystems, like algorithmically generated stablecoins. We have JED coming. It's already on testnet. Much better design, I'd argue, than most. And it's a testimony to the hybridization of formal methods, peer review, and good engineering practices and principles. Again, basic principles. If you're building something for everyone and you're building something to last, build it well, even if it takes a little bit more money and a little bit more time. Again and again, I've always said that it's not going to be first to market. It's going to be best to market, and those who exhibit stability and resilience in the bad times that survive. That's why today we're stronger than we've ever been in the history of the project. More people than we've ever had in the history of the project. Yet that will not be reflected in the media, the prices, or the current atmosphere, because it's one of fear, greed, and it's one that doesn't seem to care about basic principles. But here's the thing, the fair weather people in all those cycles, they get drowned out, and the people who stay behind are the people who are here for the long term. And our community, in my view, is the best because they get it. They've gotten it from the very beginning. We have to do better. We have to leave behind something to those who come after us, which was better than what we found. As Augustus Caesar said, he found his city in granite and left it marble. And we want to do the same. So we look to the future. Consensus is coming. We're going to be there. The community is going to be there. And we're going to show people how strong the ecosystem is. We're going to talk about all the things that are not only just coming, are already here, but are ignored. I hear people say, oh, there's no VCs in Cardano. Well, actually, we have one of the largest around. What is Catalyst? $700 million ready to go, deployed in a responsible manner through funds you control, the community. And every single time a voting round happens, we see more participation, we see more voting, And many of the great projects from NAMI on down receive funding from Catalyst to get started. It's what keeps great companies like DC Spark in our ecosystem and gives them the lifeblood that they need for Fint and Milkomeda and other things. And that's just the beginning. That's going to grow, especially as the voting centers come online. Participation increases. We will see thousands of projects launched in the long term every single year just from that. And here's the difference. Unlike the VCs of Silicon Valley and elsewhere that are chasing manipulation, bad tokenomics, insider distributions, this is the people's money. It doesn't need these things. So the things that come from it are fair. They're not sexy. They don't get love in the media because no one gets paid in that respect. But in the end, they build a decentralized economy. That's just one of dozens of innovations we brought to bear. The hard fork combinator, the extended UTXO model, which, by the way, continues to be misunderstood purposefully or perhaps just because people don't seem to understand functional programming, but frankly is the only way to scale long-term an ecosystem of billions of users. Global state is a fool's errand to chase. You cannot do that. Don't go build a replicated system. Even Ethereum is starting to admit this as they move from ETH1 to ETH2. You see, look carefully at what people do, at the code that they write, the papers that they draft, not what they say, not what they babble on about in Reddit and Twitter and Telegram and other channels, but what they actually do, what they actually release. You see, things like decentralization, throughput, these are deep conversations. Inclusive accountability, these are deep conversations that need to be had because right now decisions are being made in this industry and abroad about whether you're in control or someone else is in control. The entire point of the papers we've written, the code we've written, the ecosystem we build is to preserve the basic principle that you're in control, not someone else. That's why Mithril was created. That's why we wrote Ouroboros the way that we did. There's plenty of ways to make things artificially fast as long as you trust a third-party server. There's plenty of ways to make things settle as fast as you can imagine. Look at the conventional banking system or Visa or MasterCard. They certainly run very quickly and they certainly process billions of global transactions. But to do this at scale in a completely decentralized, ever decentralizing way, meaning tomorrow it's more decentralized than today, is a hard thing requiring new research and development, which is why we invested the time to write the papers that we wrote. It's why we invested the time to apply formal methods to those papers. It's why we invested the time to measure twice, cut once, whereas others did not, chasing gains for their VC masters. This is the difference. The point is we get our freedom back, our liberty back. That is what we are seeking. Yet people are trained to babble on and on and on about the current state of the markets, which are caused by manipulation and outsiders. Think about it.
Though the cryptocurrency market was already in a bear market, many market experts believe the most recent sell-off and Terra's unfortunate crash are a result of market manipulations. This is evident in Hoskinson's last statement in his video broadcast. In a now-deleted tweet, which he captions "Word on the Street," Hoskinson implies that BlackRock, Citadel, and Gemini might have been responsible for Terra's crash to nothingness. Here is the content of the image attached to Hoskinson's tweet. BlackRock and Citadel borrowed 100K Bitcoin from Gemini. It appears in their loan book. They swapped 25K of that Bitcoin into USD. This was all done quietly in anticipation of the attack. When the time was right, they called up Do Kwon at Terra Foundation and said they wanted to sell a lot of Bitcoin for USD. As it was a large trade, they told him they didn't want to move the market and asked if he would like to buy their large block of Bitcoin at a discount for USD. Do Kwon took the bait and gave them a huge chunk of USD, thus lowering the USD liquidity significantly. At that point, BlackRock and Citadel dumped all of the Bitcoin and USD, causing massive slippage and triggering a cascade of forced selling in both assets. The real problem was BlackRock and Citadel knew that Anchor, which holds a lot of Luna, was a Ponzi scheme. They offer 20% staking APY, and this crash could trigger more withdrawal than Anchor can repay. These forced withdrawals and selling would trigger a massive sell-off in Luna, thus further breaking the $1 peg and wrecking the market further. BlackRock and Citadel then can now buy the Bitcoin back cheaply to repay the loan and pocket the difference. Meanwhile, billions of loans were wiped out. This was pure market manipulation. Though Gemini has denied any involvement in such schemes, many members of the cryptocurrency community are still convinced that the regulated cryptocurrency exchange had a hand in the event. Others believe the manipulation goes higher up, possibly as high as the U.S. Treasury Department and Federal Reserve in their bid to crash stablecoins and introduce a central bank digital currency. It should also be noted that USD is not the only stablecoin that has lost its dollar peg. Earlier on Thursday, Tether dropped to 95 cents. As of press time, US has recovered to 99 cents, a 0.80% decrease since yesterday. Terra's USD also remains below 60 cents, while Luna has crashed to $0.045 from its all-time high of over $116. If the situation improves as CEO Do Kwon continues to promise, it will be the biggest recovery we've seen in quite a while. What do you think about Cardano and Hoskinson's video message and tweet? Please share your thoughts and observations in the comment section below. If you like this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.